Welcome to Chapter 2 in our textbook, Key Concepts in Nutrition. In this chapter, we will be learning more about calories, nutrition density, and empty calorie food. We will be identifying the 6 basic types of nutrients found in food and talking about their characteristics. In Chapter 1, we identified the main nutrients. In this chapter, we will be going over those more in depth. We will talk about how alcohol consumption affects our bodies and how our senses affect our food intake. We will look at the structures of the digestive system and how our bodies process nutrients. And finally, we will go over body mass index and why it is important to maintain a healthy weight. If you remember in Chapter 1, nutrients are the chemical compounds found in the food we eat. These chemical compounds enable our bodies to maintain, grow, and repair tissue. Essential nutrients are required by the body and need to be obtained through our diets on a daily or near daily basis. Energy from food is measured in kilocalories. A kilocalorie is the amount of energy needed to heat 1 kilogram of water by approximately 2 degrees Fahrenheit. In the US, when we talk about nutrition, we generally say calorie, which is 1,000 times smaller than the kilocalorie. A person requires enough food to meet his or her energy needs, but this amount depends on factors like age, gender, body size, and activity level. Our need for calories is to support basal metabolism, which is used for our respiration, muscle contraction, nervous system, production of body heat, and circulation. The rest of the calorie need is for physical activity and thermic effect of food. There are 6 basic essential nutrients in food: carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, minerals, and water. Carbohydrates are the first group of energy-yielding nutrients. Carbs are divided into 2 categories: simple and complex. Simple carbs are sugars from sources like sugar, milk, fruit, and soft drinks. Pasta, bread, rice, cereal, and potatoes contain complex carbs because they have a more complicated chemical structure and fiber content which takes more time to digest. Fiber is a complex carbohydrate that cannot be digested but goes through the digestive tract and provides bulk for regularity. The primary role of proteins is to provide amino acids, which are chemical compounds that build and repair muscles. It also supplies nitrogen for tissue growth and maintenance, maintains fluid, keeps the body from getting too acidic, and acts as transporters for lipids, vitamins, minerals, and oxygen. Our bodies also use protein to form enzymes, hormones, and antibodies. Proteins are generally found in meat, eggs, cheese, beans, nuts, seeds, and milk. The last type of energy-yielding nutrient is a lipid. The 3 types of lipid are triglycerides, cholesterol, and phospholipids. Almost all of the lipids we eat are triglycerides, which are the fats and oils from food or produce within our bodies. Fat is a lipid that is solid at room temperature. Oil is a lipid that is liquid at room temperature. It is a common misconception that a person's diet should be lipid-free. Diets that are low in lipids appear to decrease the body's production of good cholesterol. Although lipids are needed, we need to be careful of the saturated fats that are consumed. Saturated fats raise the level of bad cholesterol in our bodies. Next, we have vitamins and minerals. Vitamins are organic compounds. Minerals are inorganic elements. These are non-energy yielding nutrients that provide no calories but are needed for the regulatory activities of the body. Vitamins and minerals regulate metabolic processes involved in growth, reproduction, and operation and maintenance. Water is the most important of the 6 basic nutrients. The majority of our body is made up of water. Water either helps with or is a byproduct of most metabolic reactions. Water also aids in temperature regulation, waste removal, and hydration. Foods can either be energy dense or empty calorie. Nutrient density is the number of nutrients per calorie of a particular food. Nutrient-dense foods have more nutrients in a smaller number of calories. For example, lean meats, vegetables, and whole grain breads. Empty calorie foods contain a larger amount of calories and a smaller amount of nutrients. Your junk food fits into this category. I doubt it's a surprise to any of you that although alcohol can be a good pairing for a meal, it's not a great source of nutrients because our body has no nutrient requirement for alcohol. Some studies show that when consumed in moderation, there can be a reduction in risk to some specific health concerns. However, obviously, if consumed excessively, there are increased risks. Overall, it really is considered an empty calorie substance. Our senses play a huge part in how we enjoy our food. In the mouth, there are 10,000 taste buds that cover the tongue, the roof of the mouth, and the throat. Taste buds are chemosensory cells that send a signal to the brain so we can identify what is being eaten. Taste buds translate 5 primary tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, and umami. We often think of spicy as being a taste. However, it's more of a response to the feeling on the tongue. The tongue picks up this response and sends it to the brain as pain. We start building a palate when our brain collects sensory stimuli when we eat and the sensation is good or bad. When it is combined with taste and smell, our brain recognizes it as something liked or disliked. We perceive flavor through our senses. Sight, touch, and sound are also very impactful with building a palate. Body mass index is the numerical calculation that reflects the relationship between a person's height and weight. This is used to determine if a person is in the healthy weight range. The BMI chart is divided into 4 categories: underweight, healthy weight, overweight, and obese. BMI is considered a fairly good indicator of healthy weight, but does not provide accurate results for those that might have more lean body mass. According to the U.S. government's Dietary Guidelines for Americans, 72% of men and 64% of women in the U.S. are overweight, and 1/3 of these obese. The major causes of disease and death rate in the U.S. involve poor diet and a sedentary lifestyle. The food service industry is important with counteracting by providing more nutritious options. There are 3 factors that determine body weight: genetics, daily physical activity, and daily food intake. To maintain body weight, energy balance is needed by eating the same amount of calories that your body is using. To lose weight, a negative calorie balance is needed, or less calories than your body uses. And to gain weight, a positive energy balance is needed. In theory, it sounds simple. It becomes difficult when you add in slow or high metabolism. And lastly, for this chapter, we have children and weight. The increase in caloric intake and lack of physical activity continues to contribute to obesity in children. Having raised kids, this is something that I know firsthand is so extremely difficult. It is important to introduce healthy foods at an early age and continue to focus on healthy quality foods. Thank you for listening to the Chapter 2 lecture. Please review the summary slides 11 through 29. After reading Chapter 2, please complete the Chapter 2 quiz. Have a great week.